There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Oh my God, unexpected item in the bagging area. Who are you?
Hello.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Hola, Monday Alegria. Munson here. The Munson's here, I should add. You seem to have a sparkly bindi this morning. The Munson's here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast.
Is it gone?
Good to see you this morning. Just
Thank
to prove
you
to everybody who thought Mrs. M was under the patio,
Yeah.
or that we'd had a terrible row, and that you had the hump, and my people were speaking to your people about your continued involvement on the show. None of that. You're back.
No, I'm back. Well, no, I'm back today.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm back for good.
Keeping us on the edge
No,
of our seats.
I needed a good rest. Hey, Francis, how you doing? I needed a really good rest, and I've quite enjoyed lying in with the kids.
Okay, great. That makes everybody else here feel really special, doesn't it? 9:23 on the clock.
I've been making the kids feel special over the last couple of weeks, which I think has been very important.
That is very important. Thank you so much for being here. Let's make the most of it, just in case you decide to go at any moment. Coach Turner is in. T-Duck is back. Stay with us, buddy, because his jet lag is kicking in.
Oh, wow.
And he's a bit delirious.
T-Duck, I'm wondering
how Tell my wife I love her.
I'm wondering how you got on.
Stay with me, buddy.
How was your trip back home? Or not back home, back to your old home?
Yes.
Back to your country of origination. How was it?
Very nicely put. That'll make a good acronym, I expect. Deagle is here as well. Let's do a quick weather forecast I've got a sung weather forecast this morning.
A sung one.
We've got so much great content this morning. Bon dia, and that makes it sound like we don't normally. Of course we do every day, but it's especially good on this Feel Good Friday. We're putting the sex into sexta-feira. This morning. Bon dia, Colin Gumpers, from a wet Belfast, a wet and windy start by the sound of it, and the weather's not too great either. Whoops, that one. Could hit double figures later. I sent a message to the wrong show, the up-and-coming American show. Oh, we'll pick that up in the early hours of Sunday morning. Yes, we're back on again for our American friends. Yeah, let us say that to you now. A nice little shout out there. Thank you, Deagle. As if that was planned. Well, I will certainly be up at 1 o'clock on Sunday morning. Too. Well, that's not a very good high-res picture. Okay, let me get rid of that. Where do you get these pictures from? Getting rid of that. We will be up at 1 o'clock. Are you going to join me tomorrow?
Yeah.
Sunday, early hours of Sunday morning for the new American show. Thank you very much. And we'll pick your message up then. Thank you very much, Deagle. And thank you for your
funny thing is,
report.
we did it as like the new American show, and we had pretty much a full house of all our usual regulars.
Yeah, so we need to do some, so what are they called? Housekeeping. We're not going to say hello to anyone, are we, in the first 20 minutes? Because that's what the first 20 minutes normally is. It's not a Gumper gathering, the American show, is it? It's a Q&A, a live stream Q&A, serious stuff like mold, how to deal with mold, how to get your visa, how to exchange your currency and those sorts of things, okay?
Okay.
Mrs. M, where have you drifted off to? Hello?
I'm listening to you.
Good morning. Portugal from look,
Jay Atkinson in the house. Hello.
Yes. And she gets a special sprinkle.
She needs some fairy dust.
We're going to give her some Gumper dust this morning, which I think will have her giggling already.
Yeah, she'll be
saying
sure.
Gumper dust.
What the hell is that?
Hell is that? Well, you got it anyway, Jay. Great to have you here this morning. Really good. And you may have seen some of Mrs. M's more esoteric shows that involved Jay Atkinson.
Well, Jay Atkinson has definitely been on those, hasn't she?
For sure, for sure. And what yesterday's esoteric is today's, well, it's a bit like conspiracy theories, isn't it? Yesterday's conspiracy theory is
today's reality.
I always thought that. Yes, I always thought that. Yes. Thank you for the dad jokes. Thank you for the ugununu. I'm so glad you're back. And the Ugununu is back. And Mrs. M this morning. See, she's grimacing at that. As a Portuguese saying of the day, would you like to do that this morning?
No.
Nope, you never do you? Let's have a deep thought then in that case. What goes too long or unchanged? Let me just read that again. And get...
What goes too long unchanged destroys itself.
Oh, my word. That's a conspiracy theory that came true as well, isn't it? And this is the age of Aquarius, isn't it? This is what we think is going on. The institutions have gone on too long. They're not working.
They're not working.
They are
very
destroying themselves in front of our very eyes, it would seem.
Well, aren't they destroying themselves because they're trying to ensure their survival?
This is what happens.
And as they're trying to ensure their survival, they're becoming really obviously not as good as we were hoping.
Which is what you see with all narcissistic, psychopathic, gaslighting narcissists.
And organisations.
1 year without a functional government in Bill. Only 1 year.
Only 1 year. Come on. Must be longer than that.
Mad, but we went 3 years without one and only reformed in January 2020 and then COVID hit. I was going to post up something pithy on Facebook yesterday, as in, people think the government will solve their problems. Isn't the government the problem? But this is a terrible start to our show this morning.
Yeah, honestly, you're going really dark.
I'm going really dark.
I'm just joining you there, but I'm not like leading it.
You bring that out in me.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, from Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Now, Andy has made.
You did a fantastic video. Really beautiful.
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
Which we'll be showing this morning. As we've got a couple of videos. Let's do the videos, and then we've got some lovely events to share with you, including the Chicken Blood Chicken Festival. The chicken dish made with chicken blood festival, which we know won't be everybody's cup of tea, but we will be talking about that particular recipe thanks to Andy, by Randy. Looks like I'm showing you the images on the screen already, aren't I, at the moment? How would you describe that, Mrs. M? Nice bit of...
Can everyone else see it?
Not at the moment. Do you want me to, I'll bring it on for everyone, just as a little... I mean, with all my talk this morning and our chicken in blood, we're going to be losing people at this rate, aren't we?
It actually looks a little bit like...
Don't be rude and awful, will you?
I was going to say it looks like it's being put in an old latrine, like an old bedpan type, like a commode.
Oh, that's Grandma's favourite bit of porcelain. Don't say that. Okay. I think it's really nice. It looks like from the early Ming Dynasty.
I imagine it tastes good, but I don't like the fact it's
really good.
I'm not averse to a bit of
black pudding.
No, I was going to say broth, but blood isn't quite my thing.
Okay, and I see here the Americans are in the comments, fantastic, saying, I can't think of where to buy chicken blood in the US. Put that along next to the eggs, I expect. And then Chevy Fleming, which sounds like a great American name, doesn't it? Says, do red wine instead.
Yes.
Blood of Christ instead of blood of chicken.
Yes.
Inside that dish, which we will return to later. Who has dared try that? I suspect
we've eaten it. Because we've eaten some things that look like
give us what the local people have, please. And then that comes out. Good morning from Emma. Look at this.
Hello.
These are women who aren't normally here. Then they see you on the screen and then they join us.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, hello, Emma.
Gumper dust for Emma as well.
Yeah. How are you keeping warm in your chilly caravan?
Yeah, good question. Do you know that electric blanket we've got?
We still haven't used.
It's not called an electric blanket by woke people. It's called something else. It's got a new name in this age.
Really? What's it called?
Something like a mattress, a thermostatic mattress pad or something like that. It's not called an electric blanket.
Do you know, when I hear people talk about mattress pads, I think about, like protecting your mattress from
the wear and tear of life. Let's put it that way. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, my God. She enjoyed that. I needed that. Brilliant. Anytime you want, just pop by and we will sprinkle you in gumper dust. Anyway, very good. The trip was good, but very cold, says T. Doug.
So it sounds like you went back to Texas. Is that right?
I don't know. Let's say hello to him in his own language. And he says it's good to be back. I think he said somewhere else in the chat here that this is home now.
Okay.
And it's great to be home. Isn't that fantastic? The sound of clipping the vines, not toenails, has changed nowadays to the faint buzz clip of electric clippers. Oh, is that okay. So that's a change. That's the modern, is that Luis Pato, the rebel, with his new way of trimming his vines, so to speak?
Oh, I was trying to wonder what that was. I was wondering what that was that he was talking about.
Yes. And ew, to the chicken blood.
Yeah, I'm guessing
but probably
that's
tastes good. You see, this is what we know, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like kind of, I don't know if I can get my gob around that.
It is a little bit like grandma's cooking.
It is.
You know,
What
you're
looks
better off not
horrific.
knowing.
Yes, and eating blindfolded. Okay.
Yes.
Scene, Texas, and an electric heated blanket goes on top. Oh, point of order, Chairman. An
Oh.
electric heated mattress goes underneath. So did we have ours been? You know, we
Ours-
bought it for
ours
my
is-
mum, didn't we?
Yeah, ours is.
It was a bit like
underneath one.
buying the mother-in-law an electric chair, and then you realise it's not that kind of an electric chair.
It's actually your mum you're talking about.
Your mother-in-law I'm talking about. And so the electric heated mattress goes underneath. Does ours go on top or underneath? It's got straps.
It's got underneath.
It's actually
straps.
a strap on,
Yeah.
isn't it, in its own way as well? A nice, cozy, warm strap on first thing in the morning. I have a heater. That's a little twist on the famous Martin Luther King speech, isn't it? I have a heater, a hot water bottle, and layers of cozy clothes. That's the Portuguese way, and it's lovely to see you both. Oh, thank you, Emma. You heard my cry for admiration and attention there. I went to watch your most recent video on YouTube, Mrs. M, but I couldn't find it. Oh,
Really?
how do we find
no.
your mum? Your mum. How do we find your videos, Mrs. M?
If you go to YouTube and go to Feelgood Astrology.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the February 2023 playlist.
But not now.
My latest one.
Not now.
Should be there.
Okay, not now. And if you're wondering that I've got all the sort of, what do we call it? The bling on my screen with our UrHome group. Oh, I know someone who might have tried the chicken in blood. That might be Ricardo Cruz, who joins us at 9 this morning, of course. And he's from UrHome, and he loves expats, I'm told. So anything you want to know about integrating as an expat, he's our man. He knows a lot about Setúbal, including how to pronounce it. So we'll ask him about that.
That would be good.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why I've got all singing, all dancing vajazzle on my screen, it's just the way it is. Mrs. M is on the camera on the other side of the desk, and we can't adorn the screen with a green screen or a fancy name or logo or anything like that. So look, where she has her natural beauty working, I have to add all sorts of things onto the screen. Okay, now this next clip, it works in so many levels. It's a weather forecast. It's a joy to behold, isn't it?
It's really sweet.
It is. And we were doing our own impersonations. The whole family now does "Hello, everybody," which is how Les begins his video here. So here's a weather report and really the way to get the party started on Feel Good Friday. Here we go.
Hello everybody, Les here again with another song for you. I had a request from Carolyn for Happiness with Ken Dotts. Unfortunately I was unable to sing it, but I've had a word with her and she's quite happy to have the song that I'm going to sing from one northern comedian to two northern comedians. This one is from Morecambe and Wise and it's called Bring Me Sunshine. And thank you very much for all your lovely comments. So here we go, Bring Me Sunshine. And there's plenty of it around at the moment. Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. So much joy you can give to each brand new bright tomorrow. Make me happy through the years. Never bring me any tears. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Hey, well done.
Legend right there, right? And he's got
He
got
is a
fans on his
legend.
show.
Yeah, he really does. And you know what? He is awesome. He swept me off my feet at a party last year.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, I think I danced him 3 times.
And he ended up in casualty, not because of that,
No.
not because of that event, but he's 91 years of age. and he was out partying last weekend or the weekend before and danced so much with ladies, sweeping them off their feet. He ended up in the emergency room out of breath. I mean, the guy is a local legend. We call him
he is absolutely a legend.
the Caldash crooner. And I'm wondering why he didn't sing not Les Dawson. Who was that? Ken Dodd and Happiness. And how did Ken Dodd get away with singing that in the 70s? Happiness, the greatest gift that I possess. How on earth? How old is Les? 91. He's 91.
Well, he'll be 91 and a half now. Because like when I was dancing,
that's right.
I was dancing with him on his birthday, and that
Yeah.
was 6 months ago.
91
And
a
the
half.
rest.
Isn't that amazing? Sarah's a fan. Les, Jay Atkinson. Les, I want to do a duet with you.
Jay,
That would be
Les
fantastic,
would
wouldn't it?
love you.
Maybe there's going to be a tour, and he'll tour North Wales, just like the Beatles did. The Beatles were seen in Bangor, weren't they? And around North Wales. Maybe he will head that way too. And love wee Les, says Deagle there. Fantastic. Great. And I think Portuguese is right. He does take requests, as you can hear there. And I can hear him singing the opening titles of Dad's Army. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler?
Yeah,
happy times. What else are we talking about? We were talking about Star Trek this morning, weren't we? So thank you, Les. Les's Song of the Week. He has his own podcast and YouTube. We've got a playlist on our YouTube channel for Les. Those hits will keep racking up over there. And wherever you feel you need a shot in the arm of Les and the joie de vivre that he brings to us, he's there. And let's share him around the world and make him the Caldash crooner famous all over the world.
That would be amazing.
Talking of Dad's Army, we were talking about Star Trek as well, weren't we? 70s shows. And of course, the franchise has lasted beyond there. There was this sent in by James. For some reason, I was only programmed to understand 25 letters of the alphabet. Is that Mark Zuckerberg? I don't know why.
Yeah, it's very clever. Good old visual dad joke there.
Visual dad joke. And you said you'd never seen Star Trek.
You know what? In terms of what I haven't seen before, I haven't actually seen this logo on your back screen.
Which logo?
UrHome group.
Your home, my home.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing you with a brand behind you. It's very cool.
like a Premiership football player.
Yeah,
with the logos in the back.
I'm expecting you to be walking out wearing some kind of
tracksuit,
pleather jacket.
Oh, what, as the football manager?
Yeah, but with logos on your arm.
You've got me more as the sort of fat old manager rather than one of the athletic
I was actually
players.
thinking of you more as Formula One.
Oh, right.
Covered in brands and stuff.
Okay. Oh, okay. And a dress on, Lewis Hamilton likes to wear these days.
Like wearing something with your home on it.
Okay, just sort of revealing it.
Oh yeah,
revealing it nonchalantly
whilst you're revving up on a great big speed bike or something.
I don't think we're going to the F1. I don't think is it happening or not in the Algarve? Star Trek. Please talk about Star Trek. Well, we can't because we don't really know a lot about it. I can do the theme tune. Captain's log. Who doesn't like a captain's log first thing in the morning? You're laughing again. We already did that this morning, Mrs. M. You and me privately.
What? We're only allowed to laugh once.
The captain's log joke. I mean, come on. And OMG, you have no idea how significant this is. We need a chat.
I have no idea what you're referring to. Is this the letter Y or singing with Les?
Is Jay on WhatsApp?
Don't know, Jay.
Call us now.
Jay, why don't you call in?
Why don't you call in and we'll have that chat now? And
Carl will put up the number.
I think the Gumper Dust has done something to Jay. 913-590-303. Don't worry too much about the cost if it's on WhatsApp. She is going to ring in. That's fantastic. Excellent stuff. So 00351 913. It keeps scrolling on the bottom of the screen there. I wonder if I've got it on a static. I'm not being funny, but static might be quite good, mightn't it, to do as well? So you don't have to track it across the screen and end up banging your head on the other side of the of the room there as you watch across the room. If I take this off, I've got one I prepared earlier. If I take it off scroll, it's not the biggest phone in Europe yet, but there is the number. Should Jay want to call us to talk about Star Trek? That's fantastic. Okay, and whilst we're getting ready for you to call, and thank you everybody for being here this morning. This is fantastic. A good turnout. Smash the like button. Francis is in and urging you to do that, or even like the smash button this morning. Got a God Squad tip of the day to come. Ian's driving to Devon, our old stomping ground.
Wow.
Friday, driving to Devon for a wedding tomorrow. Ah, lovely. A wedding in Devon. just like ours, Mrs. M.
Yeah.
Star Wars, not Star Trek, on May the 4th. Hopefully
Yes, May
the
the 4th
roads
be
won't
with
be
you.
too bad. Coffee, of course, coffee first.
Yeah.
And we will come back to building stamina, which is probably your advice to the bridegroom. That's good. Send that to the bridegroom with our compliments as well. And let's play you another fantastic video.
We're going to play Andy's video.
We are. And quite rightly so, right? Because
Yeah.
this was so heartwarming yesterday. Andy, this is fantastic. It is the documentary of our meetup. See how many fellow Gumpers you recognise here, please.
Hungry for the road all my life, thirsty for adventure all my youth, chasing all my freedoms down Liberty Avenue. And every time I hear a phrase my mother used to say to me, everything happens for a reason, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, 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 just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Nothing like kitchen conversation, steam coming up off the stove, photographs down the staircase showing our stories unfold. And every time I hear a song my father used to sing to me, sweet words of an Irish lullaby, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Home, 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 just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, 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 no matter where I go. A little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Just bought my ticket, I pick up the phone. I'm calling to tell you that I'm coming home. Home, 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 I'm coming home. I need a little taste of home, 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 I'm coming home. A little taste of home, 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 I need a little taste of home. Little taste of home, 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 I'm coming home.
Oh my goodness, how cool is that?
Wasn't that beautiful?
I was crying a little bit as well.
I saw you whopping your eyes.
Oh my
Do you know what I really loved? I loved seeing that picture of the mum walking with their daughter on the wall.
That's what got me going.
Because that's what
Yeah.
we do every day. We go down to the beach. You know, we're always like, we've often got a child in hand each while
Yeah.
they're walking on the walls. And I think those guys were wrapped up in their parkas.
Deagle
'cause
was wondering why.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
they're obviously Portuguese.
Yep.
Because the Portuguese wrap up a lot more than the
Yes.
Brits, because we're used to the cold a lot more. And you could see that they were all hanging out and having one of those great sort of conversations in the way that Portuguese do, you know.
Very
So it
animated.
was just a really animated conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite cold. I was actually on the beach that day when all that filming was going on.
I'd been swimming a couple of weeks before, hadn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our local beach. I love it there. It's really great.
Superb. Ricardo Cruz is ready to join
Yeah,
us
he's
at
in the
9
green
o'clock.
room.
So looking forward to talking to Ricardo.
Yeah.
And finding out how to spell, finding it, not how to spell, but how to say Setúbal or
You know, it's
Setúbal.
because like we've heard so many locals call it Setúbal.
Portuguese people say it differently as well. So come on,
Yeah.
it's not just us. It's not just us.
No, it'd be great to hear.
Before we talk to Ricardo, there are so many events going on in Bairrada, sent to us by Barandi. I'm rolling my R's nicely this morning. Look, let me see, which ones of these would you want to go to? And it's as though the only things that happen in the Bairrada district.
Okay.
But that's because he is the Gumper Map Meister.
Yeah.
Entering these onto the Gumper Map. This is such good work, Andy. Thank you for these. A Bairrada Carnival. Where's this one? Can you see? It's one
In
of
the
the
bustling
many.
town of
Estareja.
Yeah.
Estareja there. I think we'd go to that, wouldn't we? There's
the wine museum.
We'd go
Would
there.
be interesting. Yeah.
You're off it at the moment, though, aren't you?
Yeah, but I can make an exception, or maybe just sniff it. You know, it's fine. It's nice to be in the atmosphere.
That's what gives
isn't it?
expats a bad name. Somebody offering a Portuguese person going out of their way to offer you a glass of wine. And you say,
I'll have
just
wine.
sniff it. I'll just sniff it. My health status has been questioned by when I've said I don't drink wine in Portugal. And yes, okay. And this one, a cycle race. That's probably not for us, is it? However, the sound of spandex.
We have the sound of
spandex twanging.
No, we have watched quite a few bike races since we've been here.
It was amazing when the tour came through Korea.
Yeah, we've seen bike tours in all sorts of places, and
Jay, I did a live stream of it.
Yeah.
And this is another Jay connection. This is bizarre. I was there with my live stream ready because the cyclists come round, don't they?
They went right outside our house.
Yeah, and then there's cars, and then there's bikes, and then there's more cars, and then there might be
there's
a
people
guy with a camera.
and there's police,
and then it goes quiet for about 20 minutes, and then they come round again. And
Yeah.
I think I set the live stream going in the 10 minutes between it happened. And then Jay joined that live stream as well and said, boring. Okay, so get your spandex twanging for that.
Okay.
This is
now I would go to that.
Avara we love, don't we?
Yeah.
Near Aveiro as well.
Yeah.
Another carnival.
I'll
Portuguese
check that
people
out.
partying every
I
weekend.
love their
there we go.
sense of occasion.
Festa Boco Vagos. Vagos we like as well. We used to call it Las Vegas, didn't
Yes, we did.
As we drove past it there. What goes on in Vagos stays in Vagos for that festa, obviously. Another party in Benposta. This is a tiny part of Portugal. And this is so many parties happening in this niche of Korea, Aveiro, Vagos.
I mean, there's parties starting already because there's one round the corner from us in Nadadouro.
Yes, that's right. That's this weekend or in the next few weeks, isn't it? Benposta, this one. Okay, we've driven past there for sure, haven't we?
Yeah.
Bifanas and snacks ready there, says Andy.
Crikey, there's loads.
I'm not finished. I'm halfway through. This is the Suckling Pig and Feijoada in Samael as well. We've been there. We've been there when we spent time up there. So, of course, the capital of Leitão here in Portugal, the Bairrada district. Amalia. A free musical there.
That sounds good.
The Queen of Fado, of course, here in Portugal, and a showing. Is that a showing of a movie there, or is it actually really a musical? I wonder. A show that leads us. It's a show that leads us to the discovery of women, their dreams, their fears and anxieties, their life, and their artistic choices. It's like being married to Mrs. M, in the hope of discovering their essence through their words that they show during their career in numerous songs of their own, interviews and conversation. That sounds like an interesting evening, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And Cantanheda there.
How many more of these we got? Because we've got lovely Ricardo waiting for us.
I think
I'm a bit of a stickler for timekeeping.
I see we've got a whole minute left because we want to talk about chicken in blood as well. The Comissão de Festas de Paris invite you to an evening of fun there. There's another one, and that is the chicken blood and chicken in the chicken rice there, which is our first question for Ricardo. If he likes that dish and would he commend it to expats?
Yeah.
The Anadia.
He's shaking his head.
Humor Fest is back. Second edition at the Club de Ancash in the municipality of Anadia. Anadia rocks, doesn't it? Let's face it. It's incredible. And the last one, Mrs. M, because it is 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Was that the same one?
I think that is the actual picture.
It's not. It's not. I think it's the theme of the moment, the
Right.
Arroz de Gallo there. And Jay is calling us as well. So we're going to put Jay on. We're going to answer the phone to Jay because Jay wants to speak to Ricardo as well, I think, this morning. So let's give him a nice round of applause. Let's take that off the screen there. Let's give
bring him on.
Ricardo a round of applause. And we'll bring him onto the screen as well as Jay in the distance there.
Hello.
So, hola, bon dia.
Hi,
Tudo
how are
bem?
Bom
you?
dia.
Bon
I'm
dia.
fine, thank you.
Great to see you. Thanks for being here this morning. Really appreciate it. Will you indulge us for just a moment? Because we've got a caller coming in
Yeah,
from
sure.
North Wales who's very desperate to speak to us. And I dare say you will be part of this spooky coincidence that's going on for Jay. Jay, are you there?
Hello, good morning,
Good morning,
Portugal.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. It's really good to speak to you. And Dorisha, good morning, darling.
Good morning to speak to
morning.
you. You might have to move a little bit away from your phone. You're a little bit distorted. And sonically, not energetically.
Okay, right. Is that better?
That is
Yes,
much
much
better.
better.
That sounds great. Yeah, so lovely to hear your
do you know
voice,
what?
Jay. We love you.
Oh, you too. I've been desperately trying to get onto this show for ages because I promised I'd give you a call and what have you, and everything keeps getting in the way. But do you know what? I think it's the time because there are so many things you're talking about and so many little coincidences, as we call them, which that we know they're not, coming up at the moment. It's brilliant.
Yes.
And the Star Trek thing, I cannot believe it. And the picture that you put up of Data.
Oh,
Wow.
It's not Mark Zuckerberg. That's Data, is it?
No, it's his brother. Yeah.
Okay. So what prompted you to call about that?
Oh, wow. I mean, the really weird thing is, I was watching an episode of, I'm so excited I can barely speak because there's so much going on, especially, all over the world. But you know what it's like when we get together.
Yes.
There's so many little things that trigger off other things. But watching Star Trek the other night for the first time in ages, there was a particular episode where Data, who's an android, gets called back to his creator, who had programmed him with a chip. And the chip was emotion. Now, this may be totally irrelevant on your show this morning, but this is why I said we need to talk.
Yes.
We privately, possibly.
Okay.
But I think for me, seeing that picture that you put up and then just mentioning Star Trek out of the blue,
Yeah.
I've been a lifelong Trekkie, and I've long since thought that the creators of that show, were off the planet, basically. There is so much stuff in there that I think you would find if you're not a Trekkie and you don't watch it. There are so many things that you will find in those programs that are so deeply seeded with wonderful things, and it, I don't know, I can't explain it. You'd have to see it yourself.
I think it's funny when you say something like that, and it does seem a little bit random. Other people say, "Yeah, I thought that," and it gives people license to come out of the closet with their with their own secret and lovely personal conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Ricardo, are you wondering what on earth you've wandered into here?
Sorry?
Are you wondering what the hell is this that I've agreed to be on this morning? Are you a Star,
Yes.
are you a Star Trek
Wrong
fan?
subject, no?
Star Trek or Star Wars for you?
Sorry?
Are you Star Trek or Star Wars? People tend to define themselves one way or the other, don't they? Do you like that kind of genre of science fiction?
No, to be honest, I never saw it before.
Not for either. There,
Yeah,
okay,
not
all right.
really for me either. I agree with you, Ricardo.
So totally random this morning.
But
then,
you know
Jay.
what? No, we do notice that art imitates life.
Yes, definitely.
And
Simpsons.
so, I think there are programs out there for everybody, or music that triggers things in people, almost like a knowing about where they are or where they're from or what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jay, so good of you to call in. And we will try and get Les over to North Wales as well to do a duet with you.
We'll do it, absolutely. I'm up for that.
And you know what to do now. You know what to do. We have our phone in. We've made a special exception for you. Our phone in normally starts at 9:30, so you know how to find us now. And we look forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Oh, bless you. What a fabulous show, and thank you so much. And we will chat.
Yes, definitely. All right. Lots of love to you. and the sweet.
You too.
Bye for now. Ciao, 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 ciao. There she
Bye.
goes. Ricardo, thank you for your indulgence there.
Yeah.
It is so good to have you here. So the first question was, do you like the chicken in the rice cooked with the chicken's blood?
No.
Really?
No to Star Wars, no to
No.
Star Trek, and
No.
no to that chicken in the chicken's blood.
I
It's
don't like
not
it
for
at
the
all.
faint-hearted.
It's the way it's cooked. For me, I don't appreciate it.
How is it cooked? You know, like.
You see the brown thing.
Mhm.
Basically, what I don't like is the brown thing that it's mixed between blood and vinegar.
Oh,
Then
vinegar as
Ah.
well.
the rice. It tastes good, smells good, but for me,
Yes.
Yeah.
So a psychological barrier to overcome.
yes.
By
Yeah.
the sound of it. So we've got you down this morning as a great help to expats, immigrants, foreigners coming in to Portugal. And I wonder if you would, after you've told us a little bit about UrHome and what you do there, if we can do a bit of a Q&A with you and how we can fit in best into Portugal. So let's start with UrHome, our channel sponsors, of course. And we were hoping to chat with Bobby this morning as well. He's going to be with us next Friday, and you've manfully stepped in for him. What do you do over there at the company?
Sorry, I sound here.
What do you do? What do you do over at UrHome? What's your role in the
So
company?
I'm the commercial director of UrHome. UrHome is a real estate company that is focused on the Golden Visa program, but to get people to show Portugal to people that lives outside and show how this country is so nice, so good, and all the
Yeah.
benefits that they can have bringing to Portugal. Also show the good investments because we still have good investments in Portugal, although the prices are now a little bit high in the major cities. But that's pretty much what we do now.
Perfect. And how long have you been there?
I've been there since 2018.
Oh wow, okay. And we used to live on the Herdade de Aroeira on the golf resort there, and I know a lot of what you do revolves around that part of Portugal, doesn't it? South of the river there.
Yes, we love the south of the river. I live in Setúbal. Bobby lives in Aroeira, as you know.
Yeah,
and we love it. So we are investing a lot on the south margin.
Yeah.
We have some plots to develop some villas in near Aroeira, very near the Herdade. We are now launching our new development in Foz de Mora. It's a 70 villas. Yes, exactly. It's a
well, this
70
place
villas.
is amazing.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Go on, tell us
be
more
amazing.
about it.
So it's 70 villas, smart villas, if you want to call it, because we are going to it's going to be completely different. How do I say? Completely different villas that we have in Portugal, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be smart villas, completely independent energetically.
Mhm.
So each villa will produce its own energy that they can supply to themselves.
Kind of off grid, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to look at those diagrams.
This is what. So it's solar panels on the roof, Ricardo. Is that right? Is
Yes,
that where
we
the
have
energy
solar
generation-
panels on the roof. Also, we have batteries that we can store the energy that we produce, and then we can use it the way we want on each wheel. Of course, you can do the
Yes.
machines, the lights, you can plug in your electric car to charge your car, and so that will be completely for free if you have an electric car. Also, we are giving away 2 electric scooters on each villa, so people can go to work, because this is very close to the train station. So it's 5 minutes
There it
away from
is.
the train station.
Yeah.
You are in Lisbon in 15 minutes. It's really nice.
Mhm.
And so people can commute really easily between the countryside, if you want, and the center of the city.
Yes, this is incredible. And I when
It's
I
a
used
really
to
good
commute,
location, isn't it?
isn't it just?
Mm.
You know, and we used to do this, Ricardo, when we lived at Aroeira. One great way to get into town was to go to Foz de Mora railway station, and then get the double-decker train. And as a foreigner, taking that train from the south to the north, you cross the 25 de Abril bridge, don't you? And all the Portuguese people were looking at their phones and reading their newspapers. And I'm looking out over the river, I'm seeing Cristo Rey, and I'm thinking, come on, everybody, this is amazing. Come on, look out the window. And it was their everyday commute, of course, and they'd got used to it. But for me, it was such a thrill to be on that train, on the bridge, going across to the other side of the
The
water.
view is amazing.
It is incredible, isn't it? And so you get to do that whenever you went north into town. If you go into the city, of course, there, and you say as well, you can go to the beaches and you can go to the countryside, and the place that we struggle to pronounce the name of. And I think you said it just now, Stubble. Is that what you said?
Yes,
Stubble.
Stubble. I live in Stubble, so
Right.
I'm a little bit suspicious talking about Stubble because
Okay.
it's a city that I love. I love the south margin. Always lived in the south. I lived before in Seixal, near Foz de
Oh,
Imoura.
okay, yeah.
And 20 years ago, more or less, I moved to Stubble, which is great because we have this amazing sun, beach, mountains, everything is here. Lovely fish, better than the rice with the blood and the chicken.
I do like the fish. It's
Yes.
pretty
It's
magical.
amazing, and it's a part of the country that it's now developing because lots of people are moving from Lisbon to the south because since COVID, people are looking for space, for green space, for swimming pools, for this kind of quality of life that they don't have in Lisbon because in Lisbon it's small apartments. You need to live, family of wife, 2 kids need to live in 16 square meters. And here, for the half of the price, they have 270 square meters with gardening, with pool, with everything that we can have.
As a mum with young children, I really love seeing that you've got a little park there for the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
A play area. I think that's always really important. And I think that's actually one of the things that I really like about Portugal. I think a lot of the play areas are really well thought out. You know, when I compare them back to parks in the UK, I just think that the parks in Portugal are very sort of well thought out, and they've often got really good lighting as well. You know, you can't really go to parks in the UK
And a cafe
at night. Yeah,
and you can, and dads can buy a beer. Mums can as well, but dads can buy a little bit of an imperial while they're watching the
Yes,
kids.
there is always a small coffee nearby.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. And of course, the very popular, increasingly popular paddleball. I think this is something the Americans have brought, right? It's the paddleball and the pickleball sports. But
Yes.
paddleball is going crazy at the moment in Portugal, isn't it?
Yes, it's knowing a big growth. If you want to play some paddle now, it's crazy how the time that you take to rent a field so you can play a court so you can play. So we are building there 6, but at the end it will be 8 paddle courts. That
Really?
Yes.
For the increasing demand.
We want to increase to give value to this area, not only for our development, but to all the area, so people can go.
Well, that's really thoughtful as well, isn't it?
Ricardo, how much of it is already built?
Sorry?
How much of it is already built?
We are now starting the infrastructure. Okay, so the infrastructure, it's roads, lighting, sewers, everything. It will take us like 6 months to build, and we believe after the summer we start to build the first villa.
Yeah,
that will take us like 1 year to be ready.
Okay, so you know, an approximate move time would be what, June 2024?
I would say we are in Portugal, so it will take a little bit more, but I believe
Ricardo, stop it, because I can see where this conversation's going. Mrs. M's thinking, when do we move in? Right, okay.
I already reserved one for you. It's fine.
Thank you. It's been a good day at the office so far.
I actually quite like the idea of living somewhere where there's a park within walking distance and also a train station. Because one of the best locations we've lived in so far was when we were living in Korea, and we had a house that was very close to a park that I could go with the kids to, and it was right on a main train route, and so we could go into Coimbra and Aveiro and down to Lisbon really easily. I really think that's quite attractive, you know, to be on that amazing railway network.
Yeah.
And your beach is really great around there as well.
Oh my God, the beaches.
Yeah, Herdade do Meio, that's why we call it Herdade do Meio, because it's in the center of everything. It's close to the train station, close to shoppings, close to the city, between Lisbon and Setúbal. So that's the source of the name. It's Herdade do Meio. It means in the middle. So
did you come up with that? Is that one of your ideas?
I was in the group that came
Very
up
good.
with the idea.
Excellent, excellent.
Should we see if we've got any questions coming in?
Well, we've got a few hellos. Karen Walton, thank you for your support. She's a GMP VIP. Gumper dust on
hello,
you.
Karen.
So Karen, thanks for being here this morning. Karen, sunny morning in Porto this morning. And for those asking about the singer on the video, a little taster home. That was Claire Kelly there. Great tune. It was really, really moving, wasn't it, to see the video from all sorts of angles there. Baddy's also with us. Wonderful video. Gorgeous. Good morning, Gumpers from freezing but sunny Saya. Another wonderful part of Portugal, central Portugal there. Antonio is in, saying hello to the ladies, of course, first of all. He gets around to us in the end. Yeah, there you go. And last but not least, Bon dia, Carl Luisa there as well. The Portuguese Riviera. Part of that is, I think I would call Costa de Caparica, the Portuguese Riviera, certainly. That's a range. How many beaches have you got near you, Ricardo, or near this development on Caparica?
So we have it's a very long coast that goes from Caparica to Zimbra. So it's only one beach, but it goes along, I would say, 60 to 70 kilometers. So it's a big one.
Fantastic.
And of course, we have Zimbra right away.
I really like Zimbra.
Zimbra is very special.
I'd love to go back there, actually.
And then you're getting into the national park, aren't you? Arrábida National
and
Park.
Arrábida, and then you have all the Arrábida beaches like Portinho da Arrábida, Galapos, and so on.
And then you get down to the naked beaches of Portela, is that right? Where George Clooney's got a place as well. But
No,
then again,
I don't think I want to watch him do anything naked.
Comporta.
Comporta, yes.
Comporta, okay.
But to go to Comporta, you need to go around or need to get the boat in Setúbal to get to Comporta.
Yes, okay, but enough about my private life. We have some Setúbal references coming in, not Setúbal, because of the E that got eaten. I've been taught that, and Antonio, yes, you're right on that. But I think do Portuguese people disagree with each other about how it's pronounced and said?
It depends on the city that we are located, because for me, that I live in Setúbal, I have a different accent from people that live in Lisbon or that live in Porto or so on.
Yes, and it is the home of your famous footballing manager as well, of course, isn't it?
Mourinho?
Yes, Mourinho comes from Setúbal as well, doesn't he? The great international footballing legend there. Ana Cruz is also here. Any relation? Bon dia. Bon dia to you, Anna. Carl, do you know the meaning of Palhaça? Well, if I don't, I've got Ricardo with me this morning, that small village. Palhaça is a lady clown.
Lady clown, yes.
Is that the one with the breastfeeding mural as well? It's an interesting little place. There is a mural of two guys on horseback with their bare-chested, we've got leather waistcoats on, and they're bare-chested on horseback. And in the foreground is a woman breastfeeding. I think it's like a Madonna kind of, modern Madonna kind of. Maybe they're the wise men on horseback. I don't know.
I've not seen that.
And Andy, help me out. Ricardo, not sure what we're talking about there. That's going up to central Portugal. Oh, look, Setúbal resident Sarah's here as well. Loves Setúbal, I know that for sure. And apart from solar panels, what makes these villas off-grid, or is it just their solar? Yeah, this occurred to me actually. What else is off-grid there?
It's that we are putting in a KNX system. So it's a smart system so you can manage your home from your phone or your computer or your tablet or your iPad. So you can completely control your house, the lights, the blackouts, curtains, air conditioning, ovens, whatever. So it's with this system, we are supplying this system, and then it's your imagination what you want to control with it.
Okay, and what about the wastewater? Is there anything?
And in terms of recycling
happening with that, or is that going into the main frame?
No, this one it goes to the main.
Okay, the main drainage.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great start, though, isn't it? To be independent at VDP. I mean, that's a life dream of many people in Portugal, is to be free of VDP, isn't it? Let's face it.
It is a dream for most of the people, and also it represents a big cost in a villa like this one. Yes. We are talking, I would say, 150 to 200 euros a month that you save by being independent.
Yes, and even selling back probably to the grid. You get the last laugh if you generate enough to sell back to the grid. Is that a possibility?
Yes, correct. If you
is that a possibility for all of the homeowners, or is it something that the estate
for all
does?
of them? So once they produce more than what they are using it, they can put it on the grid and sell it to ADP.
Yeah, because really hardline environmentalists, ecologists would say, yeah, if it was off grid, it would be the wastewater. I think that will come eventually because this is such.
It was something that we thought about it,
Yes,
but at this stage and with the waste that we are producing, it's not enough to make it how do you say
or viable or sustainable.
Sustainable. Yes.
Okay, well, fair enough. And I think it's a step at a time because with this, you've taken some big steps already. I think
Yeah.
you've really nailed the concept of how cool it is to live on the south of the river. That this has taken so long, hasn't it? There is
Yeah.
such a cultural divide, isn't there? Between as soon as I got to Lisbon and we were living on the south of the river, and we loved staying in the north as well when we'd stayed over there. It's fantastic, of course, to be in the main city. But when I arrived in Cacilhas. And I thought this could be like the Notting Hill of Lisbon.
Yeah.
You could, this is an amazing old town as well as development there as well. But if people lived here, they could jump on the ferry in the morning and be in the city in 15 minutes again. And that again is a really exciting way to travel. The Portuguese, I sat next to Portuguese people staring at their phones again, and I'm on the ferry going, "This is amazing!" And what an amazing thing to have all of that south of the river and the view from the south.
And the view, everything. It's really nice, and it's when you take the boat, it's 15 minutes that you can enjoy reading, watch the views. It's 15 minutes for yourself. It's something that people should.
And also if I recall correctly, the boat goes really regularly, from really early in the morning.
Yes,
really
I think
quite late in the
every
evening.
10 minutes or something like that. It's always
it's fantastic.
And if you're a foreigner, all of the aspects of Portuguese life are there as well. So the sailors of those ferries, the pilots, whatever they're called, are incredibly skilled in how they pull up alongside the quay. Everyone jumps on and off. On the Cacilhas side, you come out and it's a bit like Star Ferry in Hong Kong. Busy people filing on and off the boat. Then you've got the vegetable sellers there having you shouting out, wanting you to buy some oranges on the way. And you look over to your right, you've got a farol restaurant, and you think, I could go in there and I could get some seafood and those great big barrels of beer that they've got in there. And there are fishermen along the quay.
Yeah.
And it was, it's so
we saw a great big octopus being
we saw a man
out,
wrestling an octopus on the side of the water. He had an octopus on his arm, and it was wrapping all of his tentacles around this guy. And all of Portuguese life is there. It's such a real authentic neighborhood as well, isn't it, Cacilhas?
It's an adventure to be in Cacilhas, but it's really nice. Really
and it's
nice.
not the only one, right, Ricardo? There are a number of ferry ports along there, all with their own little villages. I mean, they've got a village atmosphere, haven't they? When you arrive in a ferry port, it feels like a small town, little village, or a big village, or a small town, and you get the atmosphere, the authentic Portuguese atmosphere that's been there for decades.
I don't know if you saw it before, but from Cacilhas, you can see the best sunset in Lisbon.
Oh yes,
yes, it's amazing.
Yes,
and you're on the right side as well. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
What I was saying, when you are in Cacilhas, turn to the river. If you go along the river to your left, you end up in one of the best restaurants in Lisbon, but again, it's in Cacilhas. That it's a Tira do Rio.
Oh, really?
And if you go there for a beer at the end of the day, you will be.
Why didn't I know you 5 years ago? Okay, we'll have to come back.
You can always come back.
Yes,
I think we'll have to.
We'll have to.
I just want to put in a little caveat because Cacilhas is amazing, and we really enjoyed spending time there. But if you've got young children that are prone to running off, and you're anywhere near the port, I do remember from 5 years ago that like round behind the restaurant Farol, and there's unguarded areas of like where the land meets the water. There are no, or I don't know if there are any like fences or anything put up now, but a child could literally just drop off the edge. You've got to absolutely, so anyone that's watching with small children, just remember that, because it feels very safe to let your kids run around in Portugal because so many people are watching all the time. There's always everyone is parent in Portugal, even if they're not actually parents. There's this kind of, what I've noticed about Portuguese people is everybody's looking out for the kids, even if they're not their own kids. Everyone's always watching. But down the back streets that meet the edge of the river, there's not many people watching. In fact, there's a load of old closed garages, and if kids go down there, that's my only
Mrs.
thing.
M's got a very bad memory of that place. So,
No. But I mean, we've got small children,
Yeah,
and thankfully, you know, we didn't have our baby at the time, but we just had 2 to look after. We've got 3 now,
This
and
is the
it'd
way
be so
Portuguese
easy
kids
for
grew
one
up
of
so
them.
tough.
But
is.
it'd be so easy for a kid to just like break free. You know,
Okay.
so
A nice caveat there, Mrs. M.
it's important to know.
Yep,
You know,
thank
we've
you
got to
for
give
that. We gave a full report of Casillas there and the waterfront. Carefully.
But no, it is brilliant. It's beautiful, but I mean, it's deep. You know, if you fall off the edge
God,
you're screwed.
Yep. Can you stay with us a bit longer, Ricardo? It's great fun talking to you.
Yeah, sure.
Great, excellent. All right. So yes, and there was a PS as well as Fiona's question. Good morning, everyone. Hola, Ricardo. What a beautiful creative concept there. I haven't shown you the sunset there yet either. Look at that. That's the sunset that Ricardo's talking about. Sorry to hide you for a moment there behind the complimentary comment. Yes, going back to your comment about it might be 24, 25. Things take a while. And Ricardo, so right. We've only been waiting 2.5 years for some of the services we had all agreed upon 3 years ago. So that's another caveat with the building process there. Interested to know how the homes will be heated, cooled. They look like some passive design features are in the plan as well.
Yeah.
Can you comment on that?
It's going to be, each villa will have their own air conditioning.
Yeah.
So with different splits on each division. Okay.
It looks like,
sorry?
Oh, I was going to say, it looks like you've got those great big windows all sited to collect all that heat and whatnot.
We have these big windows turned to the garden, so we can have the space image of the garden and swimming pool. But all the glasses are proper for cutting the heat and the cold in the winter.
Very good.
Excellent.
Okay, so
got a question for you. Like, if people are buying these homes, do they have to have the swimming pool, or can they opt not to? Because I'd rather have a vegetable garden. You know,
so if you want, and you buy now,
if
you buy it now on the floor plan, all of them are having swimming pool. The people that want to buy without the swimming pool, if we are in the project, we can take off the swimming pool. Okay?
There you go.
Or if you want, you can leave it ready for the swimming pool with all the necessary electricity and water supply, but leave it covered so you can do whatever you want. And later, if you want to add the swimming pool, it's fine.
There you go, Mrs. M.
Right. If or I could make it into a wallopini, like an underground.
I beg your pardon.
A wallopini is like an underground greenhouse, isn't it?
I see. Okay.
So you know, the shell of a pool would be perfect for that, but probably not what you're hoping
keep
for.
away from my wallopini.
One thing I am curious about, is there an area where there's vegetable growing? You know, given that there's this idea of it being eco and you know,
community garden.
Yeah, like a community garden, or is it possible?
You'll have to start it, Mrs. M. You'll have to be the Charlie Dimmock of the area, I think.
No, on the area there isn't.
And is that mainly because the people buying are probably going to be working and whatnot?
That's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I guess you've got to focus on a niche, haven't you, in a demographic of person there, and they're probably not going to be retired people wanting to live the good life and start a veg garden.
No, these people that we believe that people that is going to buy are on the 30s, 40s with 1-2 kids that work in Lisbon or work from home, but they need to go to Lisbon a lot. So they can easily commute to Lisbon in 15 minutes, but have a really quality of life in the nice villa.
Yeah. Look at this, Carhard. I've seen the plans for Herdade do Meio. It is rather special and certainly unique. It will no doubt create a fantastic community of like-minded people. Yeah, that's going to be interesting how the people relate to each other there as well. João F. also with us this morning. Bom dia a todos. Falo mais tarde que nunca atrasado, mas presente. What does that mean, Mrs. M?
I don't know.
Ricardo, can you help us out there?
I don't know.
Brilliant.
Hey, everyone.
It's better late than never. That's what it says.
Better late than never. Okay. Atrasado. What does atrasado mean?
Late.
Oh, that's late as well. Okay.
Yes.
But you never have to apologize. Not necessary with us as well.
Yeah.
It's just good to have you here. And Antonio greeting you there. Sarah, I've heard people in Setúbal pronounce the name of the city 2 different ways in the same sentence. You see, it's not just us. The breastfeeding lady is in Mamarosa. Of course, it would be, wouldn't it? And Amelie is with us as well, saying hi to everybody. This is fantastic. Questions for Ricardo? I'm glad you're sticking around a while here this morning, Ricardo. Great to meet you. I may have missed these. Do you need a car? to get to X, Y, or Z. You can have a car there, can't you? And what's the cost of the villas?
No, of course you can have a car. Instead, in fact, we have parking in the villa. We have a, how do you call it, a basement for two.
Oh, it goes underneath, right? And that's where the electric charging is as well,
parking spaces,
presumably.
yes.
Yeah. Ooh. And what is it going to cost me to buy Mrs. M one of these there, Ricardo?
These villas will go to the market. We are not close to the prices yet, but we are putting them in the market between the 580 to 600.
Wow.
Okay, fine. All right. I'll call you this afternoon. Selling back to the grid is very expensive in terms of cabling and very poor in terms of what EDP pay. Well, we're not surprised to hear that. I've never heard anyone in Portugal say, I have such a good relationship with the EDP. They're such a fair and fantastic company. Not ever. Can I plug a wine for Monday Wine Club? Yes, call in, please, in a few minutes, Garvo, on the number. It'd be great to chat to you, mate. In fact, I think he's going to come on the screen, so I'll make sure you get that. In fact, I'll put it on the screen. Others might want to join a bit later on this Feel Good Friday. So I'll pop that on the screen for you in just a moment, Garvo. Antonio, those ferries linking the south of the river to Lisbon and vice versa are known as the Cacilheiros. Okay. And is that coming from Cacilhas then? Is that where it all began? Okay, fabulous. Is it cheaper north or south of the river? Well, traditionally south, right, Ricardo?
Yes.
But not for much longer. Okay. It's cheaper and flatter south of the river. I mean, there's still, beyond Sejal, it is a great place to look, isn't it? If you think you've been priced out north of the river, there are still some good bargains to be had south of the river, right?
You can find some good things in the south of the river. Yeah.
And UrHome have other listings as well. This isn't your only development, is it? I mean, you've got loads of property listed.
No, we have loads of properties. This is our own development. But as I said before, we are doing also in Aroeira. We have a few apartments in Lisbon also, in Liberdade, in Chiado.
Really?
Great location and really nice apartments. And that's pretty much what we are doing now.
Oh, that's superb. Okay. Solar-powered air conditioning is awesome. We love it, and it cuts out the old issues so many houses have. We love it, and the knowledge that your car heating and all appliances are carbon negative as well. Mold. We knew that would come up. Have you got any mold-beating technology in these new homes? You just got to live. You have. Okay, brilliant. You just got to know what to do, haven't you? When you make the shift, you need to ventilate your house. And well, what would you say to people who are terrified about mold, as some are now because of Mrs. M?
Talking to me, sorry?
Yeah, what's the Portuguese approach to dealing with mold? Because it's a humid environment. You know, we've had a damp winter, cold winter. It is a fact of life. There's no avoiding it, is there? You just got to know how to manage it.
You need to know how to manage, yes. And if you see this year, it was crazy because it rained so much that I would say 80% of the properties have mold. Not mine, hopefully. But
no, it looks quite good behind you. I can see that.
Ricardo, how do Portuguese people deal with their mold? Like I have white vinegar, you know, like the clear vinegar, and I have a spray bottle and I spray and I wipe with vinegar. What's the traditional Portuguese way?
I don't know. I never had mold in any of my properties. So
wow.
He's your man. He's your man, isn't he, to tell you where to buy. Good morning to you, Lee, as well. Amelie's question was actually, do you need a car to get to the commercial areas, the train station? You don't. You've got 2 scooters, haven't you, to use?
Yes, you have 2 electric scooters. The train station is 5 minutes away. And the shopping, I would say supermarkets are 10 minutes away walking. And I'm talking about walking. Of course, if you want to go to a shopping center, but even if you want to go to the biggest shopping center nearby, it's going to be Rio Sul in Fogoteiro. You can get a train and 1 train station and you are in Fogoteiro.
Brilliant.
And walking distance.
Brilliant. Well, we've been very greedy of your time this morning. Muito prazer. It's been great to meet you. Just one final question. Some people are concerned when they move to Portugal that they want to integrate and they want to be part of things, and not insular in any way, and have that sort of worst kind of expat image. I think, can we have you back another time to talk more about this and sort of social activities? But at sort of headline level, what would you say to people when it comes to integrating into the local community? What's the best way to reach out?
I think it's very easy because usually Portuguese people are very open-minded to connect to people from abroad.
Yes,
and it's the best way to do it. It's creating. It's not talk with people in the middle of the street because, for instance, in Setúbal people are stubalentes, as we say. They are a little bit close. But if you create groups for hiking, for talk, for music, for whatever it is, it's very easy to integrate. And everyone is always very welcome.
Brilliant. All right. And so that's a great start. So maybe we can talk a little bit more about that next time you come on. Are you happy to join us again?
Thank you so much.
It's been lovely to meet you. Good luck with this project. It's absolutely fantastic. Look at that. A great concept south of the river, and with the solar and the smart home concept. Good luck with it. And we look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bon fin de semana.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, there goes Ricardo Cruz at UrHome. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
What a lovely man.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Looking
Very,
forward to
very
speaking
nice.
to him again. How to integrate faster, go outside where people are. Exactly what Ricardo was saying there, right?
Yeah.
Portuguese people are so friendly anyway. This is great. Thank you, everybody, for your comments so far. I think Garvo is going to join us soon. And of course, I haven't played this jingle for a long time. You know, Mrs. M, it's the eye-wateringly big phone-in now. So should we play the jingle for that?
Okay.
One more time?
Yes, please do.
Okay. And we're going to come back to the content we missed
Yeah,
before.
I'm not
the
quite so
Ugununu.
woohoo, am I? I'm not
Clearly, you are not
pumped
quite
up.
so woohoo.
I'm all...
Ode to Joy, Beethoven, I think, there, with the Ode to Joy, chosen by the European community as their theme tune, I think. And I think we can extend that, the joy of Europe that goes far beyond the European Union in the EC into the countries beyond the middle and the east of Europe. Call in wherever you are in Europe this morning to celebrate the vastness of culture and diversity of culture across Europe on 913-590-303. Why are you smiling wryly like that?
Or just phone in to celebrate that it's the weekend. Of course, like for a lot of people that are watching,
Right,
you know, it's the weekend all the time. You know, a lot of people that we talk to,
yes.
you know, they're retired.
Drunks, slackers, ne'er-do-wells, those sort of people, bohemians.
But for us, obviously, you know, it's the start of the weekend. It always feels good once you've done your last show of the week.
Yes.
So it feels like it's the weekend.
All right, excellent stuff. A potty has just come into the studio. Potty training in action. Okay, and we can bring the great Garvo onto the screen. Are you staying with us? Are you staying with us, Mrs. M?
I've got a ring that our son made for me as well.
With the potty being here, I'm concerned what that ring might be made out of. So be careful with that. Let's give him a nice round of applause and bring him onto the screen. It is the great Garvo, mate, in the man cave as well. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
We've had a lovely morning. Ricardo was great this morning.
Yes, I've been watching. Yes, he's a nice guy, lovely guy.
Yeah. Look at these two. So you wanted to talk about it's the wine club, isn't it? A first Monday of the month, of course.
It is.
And it will be the 5th of it won't. It will be the what day is it? It'll be Segunda. That always throws me when you've got the DST, QQ, and SS as the days of the week in Portugal. Segunda will be the 6th, won't it? And next Monday evening we will be drinking together. I hope, Garvo. What do you think we should drink?
Well, I'm going to go for this one. I've passed.
Wait a minute, because I've got to bring Mrs. M back on because she wants to say goodbye now.
Bye.
I sound like it. I'd love to say goodbye to you, not because I'm saying goodbye.
Charming,
but because...
he's only just arrived.
Happy New Year! I haven't even seen you yet. So, I'm saying goodbye. I'm going to manage the children's situation.
Well
but anyway,
done,
lots of love to everybody.
Hey, look after mummy.
Bye.
We love you, he's saying to you. I love my agent.
And
Thank God.
Solomon's showing me his new pants. He looks great.
I'll show you my new pants a bit later on, Mrs. M. And Garvo, no, not the new pants. Okay, see you later, Mrs. M.
Bye.
Thank you for being with us this morning, mate. Okay, over to you and your wine selection.
Yeah, okay, right. It's a bit of a hasty one. I've passed it behind the shelves a few times.
Yes.
Roller. I always think of cola for some roller cola.
Roller cola. Okay,
yeah, that's why I'm. It's the standard version. No reserve or anything.
Not
right?
Reserve.
And I do believe, although I got mine in littles, they sell it in Pingo Dos. So it's a sort of a mid-price wine. It's about 7 to 10 euros, depending on where you get it from.
It's high end. Good Morning Portugal Wine Club, isn't it? 7 euros.
Okay. Say that. Image to people here.
What attracts you to it? How will you commend it to us?
Nothing more than I've never had it before, and this is how marketing goes. It's an unusual wine bottle shape, isn't it?
Yes, it looks like a bouncer from a club, doesn't it, with big shoulders?
Yeah, it's kind of it's very very hippie and shouldery here, but not
Yeah.
much up top.
Not much up top. Okay.
It is kind of like a kind of liqueur sort of bottle, sort of, but not. It's a Duro anyway. Let's give it a go. If anybody else can find it, there's no year on this, so just get one if you can and join us.
We've learned our lesson with that, haven't we, Garva? We don't want to get people to be too worried and hung up on getting exactly the right wine, exactly the right year. The important thing is to come along and have fun and drink Portuguese wine, or sometimes liqueurs or whatever else we fancy. So join us on Monday evening. We have a different start time, don't we? Now, we'll go with, was it 7:30 that we've been doing it, or 7?
No, it was 8 o'clock, was it?
Okay, let's go with 8 o'clock.
Let's not go any earlier.
Let's not go any earlier. Okay, so 8 o'clock on Monday the 6th. Get yourself the Rollo Douro Red. If you can't get that, why not get a Douro Red? That might be a little bit easier. And there's also talk. Steve, thank you for your mention of Porto Seix, which has an amazing reputation all around the world. The distribution of Porto Seix with the lovely illustration of Lisbon on the label can be seen. Trader Joe's and other wine sellers around the world. So why not grab that if you can't grab anything else, and just tell us how you're enjoying it, what you think of it, and we'll just chat and drink. And we might bring a few nibbles. Have you got a few nibbles in mind lined up to go with that?
Yeah, I might have a few bits of cold meat and a few olives and stuff to go with that. Just a bit of cheese, possibly.
I think we've got a call coming in, Garbo. Should we take this?
Go on, then. Let's see who we've got.
It might be somebody. It might be somebody selling me insurance or compensation or something like that. Let's see. Caller, you're through.
Hello there, Carl. Good morning.
Good
it's
morning.
Richard from Capello in Obidos.
Oh, fantastic! You threw me with a UK mobile there, but
that's probably my fault.
Not at all. So great to hear from you, Garvo. Stay where you are. You're going to stick with us, right, till the end of the show. Perfect. Okay. Tell us about this fantastic thing, Rich, that you've got coming up. Is it this weekend?
It is indeed. It's this Sunday from 1 till 6. You can get there from sort of 12 o'clock, and we would advise that people do that. But let me tell you about the event. I know you're aware, but let the listeners. So myself and another musician in the area, a very talented guy called Joe Mack, started sort of some smaller events Joe did called the Juke Joint, where it sort of started bringing people together from both the Portuguese communities and the expat communities. Because when we started talking, we realised that there's so many events for expats, and there's a lot of events and festas for Portuguese people, but very rarely do everyone come together. And living in Portugal, I think that's really important for us all to do that.
Well said.
So we decided to come up with something using music as the medium, because music has no barriers. And we came up with Communities Unite. And the idea of this is to bring all of the community together, both expats and Portuguese, to really start to integrate more with the societies. There's a lot of expats that already do this, but there is a lot that don't, and there's a lot of Portuguese that don't either. And it's been so well received here in our local community, just outside Obidos, that we thought we need to do something more formal about this. So we created Communities Unite, and our first event is this Sunday at 1 o'clock till 6 o'clock at the association in Capelleira. That's actually Casais de Capelleira, which is about 1 minute's drive, literally, up the hill from Obidos.
Fantastic.
And that's the idea. And it's effectively this theme. It's going to be barbecue and blues, but we're going to do it on the first Sunday of every month. And then every Sunday moving forward, we'll have a different theme. So we might have a different food theme. We'll definitely have a different music theme. Going all the way through the year.
That's superb. What a great idea, because we've already been talking about integration this morning. One of the suggestions was to go outside, because Portuguese people are so friendly. That is true. But I think a purposeful thing like this, giving people an excuse and a reason, is a really good idea. And you've had hundreds of people showing interest in this, haven't you, already?
Yeah, we've been absolutely blown away. I'll be honest with you, we thought, if we could set our target sort of at 100 people, if we could get 100 people for the first event in total, that would be absolutely marvellous. But actually, we've sold out the barbecue now. I think the closing figure that I finished yesterday was 274 people for the barbecue. So they've paid for a ticket, €15, and that is as much food and drink as you can have, and all of the music as well. It's really expensive day out.
Rich, you understand the expat mentality, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to balance this for Portuguese. We are not in this to make any profit. What we want to do is we want to pay local musicians a fair price for playing.
Yes.
But most of the expats musicians that are playing for free.
Bless them.
So what we do is we just take a couple of euros from the ticket price. That goes out to those local musicians. We make donations then to the local association, etc.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got on top all the other people that are turning up, because the association, along with its famous barbecue, is still doing bafanas, chicken wings, sausage, all the rest of the normal stuff. There's a bar open all day. So people can just come along. The event is free if you've not booked for the barbecue, but please don't think it's full. We can have as many people there. Come along for the day, 1 till 6. It's going to be a great afternoon of blues. And we're really looking forward to it.
What a lovely idea, Rich. And of course, this is a model for, that's scalable and replicatable, repeatable, copyable around all of Portugal, where there are expats thinking, how do we get involved in the local scene?
That is exactly what we want to happen, and we hope will happen. And again, if people can do that through music has no barriers. It's not like all the religions or politicals or anything like that. It's music. We all love music.
Yeah.
So using music as that forum, as that centre point, to bring everybody together, you're never going to have anything that's going to become detrimental or argumentative. And that's the idea. We just want to bring people together, have a great time, and look after and support our local communities, whether they be expat or Portuguese.
Super. What a lovely idea. Garva, what do you think?
That sounds beautiful. I mean, I was listening, was it yesterday, to Michael, and when he said one of these Portuguese friends no longer thinks him as being a foreigner. You've made it then, haven't you? That you've hit the mark, you've hit the bullseye if that happens. And like this sort of thing can go one step closer to that, then fair play to you, brother. Fair play.
Yeah, great job, Rich. Tell us about the bands.
Well, we've got several acts actually. We've got, first of all, a local German expat called Jochen. He's actually known as Joe and Pan. He plays the hand pan, which is a very specialised instrument. But he's tweaked it. It's not the normal sort of chill vibe. It's he's done some blues numbers and some rock numbers, which he's going to do to open at 1 o'clock. That's not to be missed. He's really good. We've then got a couple of guys called the Brazilians. They're fabulous Portuguese Brazilian duo. Again, playing all Portuguese music. They'll be following him. That's then followed by the Bluesberries, which is made up of some expats as well, and they're amazing. And these musicians have been around the scene in America and all over the world for many, many years. They really are high-class musicians. We've then got the world-famous Nelson Rodriguez on after that. What a lovely man, and really supportive of what we're doing. Very, very well known in the area. And an incredibly talented musician. He's coming to do Portuguese numbers as well, so that'll be blues and rock numbers with a drummer. So that's going to be very interesting, because that's a first as well. And then topping the day off, or finishing the day, I should say, I don't know about topping it, is our band, which is the Booze Brothers, which is myself and Rick as Jake and Elwood, out there doing the Blues Brothers tribute.
Excellent.
And that'll be on at around 4 to 4:30 to get everybody finished on a big high.
I bet. That sounds such a great idea, and particularly on Sunday the 5th of February from 1 till 6, a great event. All the best with it, Rich. And
thank you, and thank you for what you do is a wonderful job, and thanks for promoting this as well. Really,
absolute pleasure. Anytime. You've got a key to the studio, basically. So whenever anything like this is happening, or if I would like to see people wanting to get in touch to learn how they can do it in their own area. So presumably we can connect you up with people to do that as well.
100%. Please feel free to give my details out. link us up together, that would be wonderful.
Oh, cheers, man. And did you say the event is sold out? I think you need to do a repeat. Great lineup. So what part of it is sold out, but people can still come to watch
Just
music?
the barbecue.
Okay.
The seated barbecue, which the association do every Sunday.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But that part of it, on the ticketed value, like the €15 for the food barbecue, I think that's sold out. But you can just turn up for free, drink, eat, normal, like bufanas, etc., like I said, and enjoy all of the music.
Okay, perfect.
And all we're going to do is we're just going to pass a hat round at the end of the day then for those people that if they want to make a small contribution, then make it. If they don't, they don't. We just want to get people there. That's the main thing.
Great idea. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Paul,
You too.
Semana. Ciao, mate.
Thanks.
All the best. Bye for now. Fantastic. Great. They're going to have a fantastic time, aren't they?
Marvelous idea. Excellent.
Not bad at all. And I can see
Let's see some phone clip footage of the events of people who go, so we can have a look. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, we'll play a bit of that on Monday. So we've shared a few events courtesy of Andy by Andy. What's happening in the Al Viagra area? I guess Festa season is getting off to a good start, isn't it?
We've got one this month, 22nd, I think. I can't remember what it's for. Probably some obscure vegetable or something like that. Just any excuse for a party.
Festa of the obscure vegetable.
But it's about time we had one. So yeah,
yes,
it's the start of the long train of festas, isn't it? Really.
You're sounding weary already, mate.
Oh no, I am weary because I've been like completely berserk these past few days, shifting stuff around and doing stuff I shouldn't be doing.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah. Well, the man cave is looking fantastic there. Are there any events planned in the man cave?
We actually Sunday, I think it's rugby day. It's England versus Scotland, Calcutta Cup. So we should be down here having a few beers, swearing at the TV sets, and doing what men do, being loud and obnoxious, I suppose.
All right, good stuff. Bit of feedback coming in, and people glad to see you on the screen. Stay with us for the dad jokes, of course, that we will climax with this morning. But there's a few capital letter greetings for you, and of course, this is the signature greeting of the man cave, isn't it? The primates of the
tribe, isn't it? It's the tribe. The troglodytes unite.
Oh, Gary, must say, good to see you in capital letters. and talk about mold and air conditioning as well, which I'm sure you'll be delighted to stay for too. I think Pete thinks you're a toff, shelling out €7. Champagne socialist Garvo spends more than €5 on wine. Who is this? Antonio F saying rola means a dove in Portugal. In Portuguese Brazilian, it has another meaning. He's not going to tell us what, is he?
No.
So when you're with Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese speaking friends, just put that into the conversation and see what happens. Willie Garvo, rola there. I wonder what that does mean. Can you give us a sort of coded idea of what that might mean, please, Antonio? Even better for making friends, go outside where people are, talk to them and say, I am a gumper. They will think you're crazy. This is from a Portuguese person, so we'll take that as an instruction, a cultural instruction, but it will make them curious about you. How would you describe yourself as a gumper, though?
I can see myself being taken away by the GNR, and my last words were, you can't do this to me, I'm a gumper.
That's right. And getting sort of the gumper helpline. to try and get you. I'll come and get you, Garver, don't worry.
Oh, you're in trouble again.
Dan would love to join the Monday Night Wine Club. Sadly, I'm busy for the next 6 months on Monday evenings. Well, you'll be able to watch the replay. Yeah, you can watch the replay for sure. Mulher de Sete Seias, the seven-skirted lady, is here as well. What is that? I thought that was those were little Benfica logos. They are tumbling gymnasts, I think. Can anyone else see that on there? Typical morning
tumbling
here.
gymnast.
Yeah, for Victoria. Multitasking, lovely to see everyone. And roses being given out as well. Michael Whitby's in. Bon dia. I thought a successful day in Lisbon yesterday. In Chile, it took us, or Chile, as some people like to say, it took us 5 weeks and 20 visits to get our bank account. Look at you. It's a world record. Here, in and out in 45 minutes, including a 10-minute wait. That is good stuff, isn't it? Even by Portuguese standards, or especially by Portuguese standards, 45 minutes. What's your secret? You need to make a YouTube video, I think.
The secret is you can sign your signature very quickly.
There we go. I did warn them about the signatures. Too wet, and a wet signature That's such a good phrase, isn't it? And we know exactly what you mean, like a real one, and 20 electronic signatures. See, what I don't understand about electronic signatures, if you've done it once, you shouldn't have to do it another 19 times because it is an electronic signature, right?
Did you find, Carl? Did you find when you did the first one, it was Carl Munson? But by
Yes.
the time you reached
The
sort of
line.
18 or 19, it was more
Yeah.
like a echocardiograph reading sort of.
It was, yeah, absolutely. And I would have liked to have seen my echocardiograph reading as I was doing the 20th signature as well, which wouldn't have looked like my signature. It would have been a lot more accent. Yeah, at the beginning, it was quite a nice, rock star autograph. And by the end of it, there was a C and then just a line going off at 45 degrees, I think. We got home and all the access pins were already on our phones. Thanks for the help, Christina and team at EI. Well, that's great. Good news. Well done. The Whitby's on there. Congratulations. Another reason to drink Portuguese wine and celebrate with us on Monday there. The fest never stopped. Of course, I'm making the assumption that they stopped, but they didn't, did they? They just keep going. Look after yourself, Garvo. You are a very special part of the community.
When you say special, does that mean special?
Really special. That's right. Sex in sexta-feira. This morning, fire from over there, down there in Portimao. Don't wish to discourage you, Michael, but you'll have plenty of opportunities to get disappointed. Oh, come on. Managing expectations from the mouths of the Portuguese there. Okay, let's go to our Ugo Nuno. This morning. That's if I can find it. And we have this feature, which Mrs. M doesn't like, so she'll be glad she's not in the room for this. It's Hugo Nuno, as in who knew? And I have to scroll all the way back. We've got a Portuguese saying of the day. We'll practice a bit of Portuguese together as well, Garvo, this morning. And there have been so many comments this morning. Sorry, it's giving me RSI to get to the back of to get to the top of the show this morning. Oh, and a God Squad tip of the day as well. So let's do that now, actually, about stamina when it comes to the Festa season. Coach Turner's on his way to Devon, and I'm thinking in terms of resilience and stamina for the wedding in Devon. This is the advice to the bridegroom as well. It's been a leg week this week. And who doesn't like a shapely leg in the morning, or even getting their leg over in the morning? We've been working on strength, but you'll also need resilience. 30 minutes walking every day will help. Not sure I do quite that amount, but I'm with the dogs. Yeah, I think I'm getting there. It's sufficient to build your stamina and significantly improve your health. Try to walk fast enough so that you puff a bit. And remember, it can be 15 minutes to the coffee shop, then back again. You do expat DIY, don't you, for Keep Fit?
Well, that's one way of framing it, I suppose. Amongst other things, yes. Necessity is the mother of invention, so it has to be done.
It's like DIY yoga, I think. Each time if you bend over to pick up a fallen screw, as it were, you can do it mindfully rather than, oh, bloody hell, I've dropped that. I've got to bend over. It can be like, this is a moment for mindful respiration and inspiration.
No, it's like you pick up that screw and you think, that could come in use, couldn't it? And it goes in the jar with the rest of the old rusty screws that have been there for about 20 years.
That you brought from the UK with you?
Yeah.
You just never know, do you? Okay.
Actually, no, Carl, that little jar of screws and bolts and stuff has saved my life so many times. Yeah. It's worth doing. It really is. It sounds tight, I know, but if you've got to go to a shop to get stuff, it's just,
there are all of these things, aren't there, on social media in this day and age? What is it to be a real man? And that is one of the markers, I think, is a jar somewhere or a tin. Ideally, a retro tin, like something like and I've got an old Elastoplast tin, probably from the 1950s, with a few bits like that in it. And I think an old vintage tin with things in there that are never going to be used, but one or two of them might be. And you just, I mean, do you pick screws up in the street when you see them in cable ties?
No, I'm not that desperate. No, I do. That's somebody else's job.
Livelihood.
Yeah. In fact, you say that about the old tin with the Elastoplast. I must have a similar one, and I'm sure that some of my dad's screws were in there as well.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So that's the mark of a real man, I think. And that can get handed down from generation to generation. But of course, these youngsters will have AI screws, won't they, and virtual screws or printers, digital printers and stuff, 3D printers. So they may not need to do this, and it might be a dying art that you and I
can just imagine now my will being read out, and when my son gets that box of screws, you'll think, what the?
I was hoping for a few quid. Oh, rusty old tin of screws instead.
There you go, son. Serve you good
Thanks,
for the
Gaz.
rest of your life.
Have you said to him one day all of this will be yours?
Absolutely.
To the rest-
You know,
yeah.
so, yeah, he can't wait.
Quedo, erguer de saúde e faz crescer. Bless you. Going to bed early and getting up early gives health and makes you grow. Are you one of these people? Are you an early riser, so to speak?
Yes, I am. I always have been.
Have you?
Eyes open, feet hit the floor, and away we go. I'm stuck in a loop of I'll probably wake up about 5 o'clock.
Right.
And then to counterbalance that, we have this session later on in the afternoon,
Yes,
just
yes,
you know, the half an hour on the settee or whatever.
Half an hour.
Well, give or take an hour or so.
Are you grumpy or refreshed after that?
Oh God, always good, always good.
Because there
unless I get woke up quickly, then I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
The legs are going one way, the head's going the other. If something, Gaz,
what? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Don't panic.
Thank you. Okay. Who knew then? The Azores is an autonomous region of Portugal. It is an archipelago in the northern Atlantic Ocean in an area called Macaronesia. I want to sing the Macarena when I see that on the screen there. Oh, Macaronesia. The Azores consists of 9 volcanic islands. The beauty of the Azores is rare and timeless. Or for our American viewers, the Azores. When you look at the Azores from its highest point, each island looks like a land of craters and chimneys. This is beautiful, isn't it? It is the perfect place for kayaking and canyoning. If you ever dream of swimming with dolphins. No. If you ever dream of swimming with dolphins, diving with manta rays and whale watching, then the Azores is the place to visit. Have you been? Have you been canyoning?
I've never been to the Azores. I would love to go to the Azores. It's on
Madeira?
the list.
Have you been to Madeira?
No, same thing.
Oh my goodness!
They all look very hilly, which might pose a bit of a problem to Linda unless I got with the super duper hover cart. But I don't know. It's not beyond possibility, I suppose.
Exactly. Okay, dad jokes then to finish with. After the last few comments here, ciao, away to the doctors. Good luck. All the best there. Carla, Virtual Screw is a different website, mate. Morning, Stephen. Screw bolt, nut, nail jars, and boxes. Button boxes, of course. One might say if one was brave, the other gender equivalent. But I'm not going to get into that territory right now. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy and wise there. Thank you, James, for that. And what's this? Bay Haja is used as a way of wishing all the best. Bay Haja, it is a bit posh though. I wouldn't have that down as posh, but that's great to know. There is also sort of posh Portuguese as an equivalent to posh English, you know. Well, can we have each time you're here, can you give us a bit of posh Portuguese? We'll make a feature of it. Posh Portuguese. Your first lesson today is Bem Haja. And I've realized I've forgotten to do Munson's money moment. I'm going to leave this as a poignant Munson's money moment as well. Simply this morning. And I won't play the jingle, but we have a Munson's money moment most mornings now to celebrate our association with Spartan FX. The one that I found that I thought was really, it was short but effective. Financial success is simple. No matter how little money you have, always get it working for you. And this is the thing, isn't it? I think sometimes we can be of the consciousness that rich people are rich because they've got lots of money. But I guess as well, it's quite interesting to develop a rich consciousness. So I think quite often, I wasn't brought up in a wealthy environment, especially. I was brought up in a sort of an aspiring environment where money was thought of as a problem most of the time. So that sort of consciousness and idea that you put money to work, however small an amount it might be, wasn't in my consciousness. You're nodding in some sort of appreciation there. Were you born into the struggle of it?
No, it kind of ties into something we was on about in the man cave, is that where we came from in the UK, all your money's tied up in your house or whatever, and it doesn't really mean that much. But when you come here, and what you can do with that money, and how you use it, is very different, and you've got more freedom to do more with it and benefit more people, if you see what I mean.
Yeah,
because
sure.
it's more relevant here. It's more useful, and you have more options.
Well, that's a
That's if you're
perfect
lucky enough to have some, of course. But I think it's just here you can just do so much more with it and
Yes.
benefit more people. I mean, I can have all this around me. It's lovely, it's beautiful, but unless I use it for something like have visitors and have people come in and share it with people, it
Yes.
would be meaningless. And I would never be able to do that back in the UK. It just wouldn't be possible. Wouldn't be able to do it.
So it's as though you've developed a kind of wealth consciousness, seeing that the money can be put to work in exactly the way that's been described here.
Well, what's the point? Otherwise, it's just going to sit in the bank and just
Yes.
do nothing.
Yes, or down the back of the sofa, under the bed, wherever. Ben Haja, not Ben Haja. Thank you. I do know that, and I did forget that. The H in Portuguese, of course, when they say aha, it's not ha caracóis, it's ah caracóis. Here we have the snails on a sign that you'll see outside cafes at certain times of year. This is fantastic. Thank you for, I don't know how I got reminded about the money, Munson's money tip of the day. More of those next week, of course. And now we're going to go to the dad jokes to see the look on Garvo's face. He very kindly has joined us with his wine selection for next Monday for the wine club. And that'll be the rola, which you should be careful saying in Brazil. Rola.
Yeah, what it means. We'll have to look up.
Okay, mate. I could never stand being in a wheelchair. Okay. How many apples grow on trees, Garvo?
I don't know.
All of them.
Oh dear, that's scraping the bottom of the barrel, then, isn't it?
Okay. I mean, it's a dad joke. What do you want? I'm addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop anytime I want.
That one I like. That one I like.
That one he likes, and that one he will be taking with him today. I've got a terrible feeling that there's something I've forgotten today. I'm going to do this. If you want to be a supporter of the show, go over to... Sorry, Garvo, you have to lean out a little bit. The other way, go over to goodmorningportugal.com if you want to support the show in some way, and you will be sprinkled virtually with gumper dust. And you'll definitely get into heaven and be more attractive and wealthier. No, you'll be a little less wealthy, obviously, if you support us. But it will all come back to you in the end, maybe. Okay, Garvo, thank you so much. Bon fin de semana, my friend, to you.
Me too.
Got any nice plans, or are you going to be working hard on the house again?
Today's going to be a tough day in the field, I think. Not looking forward to
tough day in the field.
Yeah.
Right.
And there are many other things that I can be doing.
Yes. Okay. But you're going to be toiling away, top off in the Portuguese sunshine. Good for you, mate.
Actually, saying that, yesterday I was in Leiria doing a bit of shopping, and it was really warm. Then the jumper came off. I was down to t-shirts, and in fact, believe it or not, I'm not telling lies here, right? The air conditioning went on in the car because it was that warm.
Did it? What are you complaining? This country is too hot. I said yesterday, it's too hot to Mrs. Evans. She said, "You're never happy, are you?" We're going to finish now. As lovely as it is to talk with you. Fun Friday, chatting with you. Igualmente, bon fin de semana to all. What we will do is finish with this beautiful sunset picture from Concanhani up in Porto. I got a lovely message, and I said, "Please, can I show this picture that you shared with me, Hank?" And he said, for whatever you like, we think of the beautiful sunsets, or when we think of beautiful sunsets, we think of you because of all the wonderful sunsets you shared on GMP all those times. Nothing but love for you, Carl. That's lovely. Right back at you, Hank. And here is that lovely photo. Look at that, Garvo.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
And then there's the girl in the top right-hand corner. And if that is giving you a little bit more of a nudge and encouragement to make your way towards Portugal, job done this morning, because that's what we're all about here, helping you move to Portugal and love your life once you're here in Portugal. So I'll put that up again at the end of the show. Garvo, have a great weekend, mate. Love to Linda and the gang.
You too, mate.
Big round of applause for you. And we will go out with our theme tune. See you on Monday. Ciao, ciao. Or if you're in America, we'll see you in the early hours of Sunday morning. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.